yourself. All right. So you had a great discovery call. So what do you do? What do you say in your emails, in your voicemails, in your text messages when a prospect who's supposed to meet you for another appointment or to pay or whatever the next step is in your sales process, whether you sell B2C or B2B, what do you do if they don't show up? What do they do if they ghost you? How do you get them to respond back with the truth of what's really going on? Okay. So let's say you had a great discovery call, or let's say you had a great demo or a great presentation or a great proposal. The prospect was so into what you're offering. They were so into your solution. They're like, I'm in. And maybe they said they're ready to go. Seems like the sale was yours. And then poof, the prospect goes MIA. They disappear. You call them, you frantically text them if you have their cell number, you send them email after email, and nothing. They don't respond. Apparently, they went into witness protection mode and got moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and they are just gone. What the hell do you do at that point? Okay, well, let me show you. It's really easy, okay? It's very simple. So whether you sell B2B or B2C, you can use this one small text if you have their cell, or if you only have their email, that will get most of your prospects to actually respond with the truth of what's really going on. Now, wouldn't you rather know the truth of what's going on rather than then hoping and praying that they're going to magically email or call you back months down the road? I know I would, okay? So the first step is before you send an email or before you text is you want to call to try to get them on the phone. And if you can't, you're going to leave a voicemail. Now, let's say you've already called a few times. So I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios, and then I'm going to show you what the different scenario is if you leave a voicemail compared to how you're going to word it in a text, compared to how you're going to word it if it's on an email, because there's some slight tweaks to that, okay? Now, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't start calling them 2, 3, 4 times a day. If you have been trained to do that, you look so damn desperate, you look so needy that they are going to run the other way, even if they were still planning on paying for your product or service. That quite literally, you're going to run them off because you look like a desperate salesperson who has no other clients, who's a broke ass salesperson. Excuse my language. So the rule of thumb is you're not going to call them more than once per day. That's B2C. If you're calling B2B, probably wouldn't call more than 3 times in a week. Okay, I'm just telling you, you start calling 5 times a day and then you don't leave voicemails, you look like a desperate freaking telemarketing salesperson and nobody's going to get back to you, even if they wanted to pay. Okay, so my suggestion for most industries, you're only going to call once per day. Now, in this example, let's say you've already called them 3 times. So they were supposed to pay on, let's say, Friday. You left them a message Friday. You left them a message Monday, and you left them a message on Tuesday. I'm just giving you an example, all right? So you've left them a message, 3 messages over a period of 3 to 5 days. So on this example, let's say it's the 4th call, you would simply say something like this in your voicemail. Make sure you write this down because I'm not going to repeat it more than twice, okay? I'm just going to give you a generic version, okay? You just plug in what you sell here because we train every industry. I can't do it industry specific. So you're going to say something like this. This is in a voicemail. Hey, John, it's just James Miller again getting back to you. I did try to reach you the last 3 or 4 days, and I left you a few messages, but we didn't hear back. So my question is, where do you think we should go from here? Now, here's my number again. It's 573-555-6555. And like I said, I'll be available here for a little bit today. Click. I'm going to repeat that one more time for you because I know I went that fast. This is in a voicemail, okay? This is not the first time you leave a message. This is maybe the 4th message. I'm just giving you a different scenario. Hey, John, it's just James Miller getting back to you. I think we had an appointment the other day, but I called and it didn't seem like you weren't available. I did try to reach you a few times in the last few days and left a few messages, but we didn't hear back from you. So my question is, where do you think we should go from here? I'll be available here for a bit today. Talk to you then. Click. Okay, now that's a voicemail. Let's say that's on a 3rd or 4th message, maybe 5th message, all right? Now, I'm going to show you a couple scenarios. You're also going to text and email this message or whatever other way you communicate with them. Okay. If you have a text, I like text faster than email, but it depends on what you sell. Like if you sell B2B, you're probably not going to have their cell phone number. You're probably just going to have their email. It just depends. Sometimes you'll have both. B2C, you could have their phone, cell number as well, and email. So here's what you're going to put: an email and a text. Make sure you write this down. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit different. You're going to put here in a text or email, let's say it's a text. Hey, John, it's just James Miller getting back to you, comma, and then go down 2 lines. You want to space it out. You don't want to have it all in like one big blob of a paragraph because most people aren't going to read that. You want to have a couple spaces. Hey, John, it's just James Miller getting back to you. Then scroll down 2 spaces on an email as well. I did try to reach you the last 3 or 4 days and left you a few messages, but we didn't hear back. ... Put the ... not just one ... Then scroll down another line and say, where do you think we should go from here? ? And that's it. Nothing else. So let me repeat that. Don't go into like, I was so excited you were going to sign up. I know we can solve your problems. I'm so happy you were considering. Stop doing all that stuff. Nobody's going to read that. You just sound like a desperate salesperson. So in an email or text, you're simply going to write this down word for word. Hey, John, it's James Miller getting back to you. Scroll down 1 line. So you're going to scroll down, space. I did try to reach you over the last 3 or 4 days and left a few messages, but we didn't hear back. ... Then scroll down another paragraph and put, where do you think we should go from here? ? That's it. Short, concise, right to the point. Now, I'm going to give you an example, but reworded a little bit differently here. Okay.